Hi, this is Erin from BlossyB. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to open the September Resin Moulds Express Where Time Meets Tide box. My first ever experience with Resin Moulds Express was with their August box, and I'll link those videos in the description box below. The bar was set high with that collection of moulds, so I'm interested to see this one. I am ridiculously excited to open this parcel from Resin Moulds Express. The pink packaging is now familiar to me, and I am so happy after opening my first box and using all of the moulds and accessories in that one. So it's just a lovely feeling of anticipation. So this one is called Daydream Shores Where Time Meets Tide September Mould Box. And the little blurb on the sheet is, "Welcome to Daydream Shores where practical timekeeping meets the magic of the ocean. Our September mystery box invites you to a place where perpetual calendars share space with mermaids and ducks float alongside majestic whales. The unique collection of 7 premium silicone moulds blends functional household items with coastal wonders for a crafting experience that's both practical and enchanting." And I'm so excited. Look at all the little beautiful images of what's to come. And then the first thing right on the top has got me totally intrigued. I have never ever seen a mould like this. So again, these are all numbered, so you work your way through the sheet. And number 1, Perpetual Calendar Mould Set. So it says this premium set includes 3 complementary silicone moulds that work together to create a stunning perpetual calendar. The set comes with a crescent moon base mould, a crescent calendar track mould, and a circular date wheel mould. To complete the project, the set also includes a pack of dried flowers, butterfly stickers, and 10 to 15 M3 screws with a Phillips screwdriver for assembly. Now turning our attention to number 2, leaf-shaped tray mould. It says the leaf-shaped tray mould creates a stylish and versatile serving or display tray with smooth organic lines. The minimalist leaf design strikes the perfect balance between natural inspiration and contemporary aesthetics. And it's ideal for holding jewellery, candles, small trinkets or serving snacks, and there's lots of creative ideas given there. Number 3, duck planter and mini duck mould set. And it reads, this adorable set includes 2 complementary silicone moulds, a large duck planter mould, and a mini duck decoration mould. The set gives you everything you need to create a charming parent and baby duck duo for your home or garden. I love that, and again, lots of suggestions there for things that you can do to be creative with this mould. So I'm so excited to do this one. Perfect. Okay, so over the page, we're up to number 4 now. And this is the geometric storage container mould. Now, this geometric storage container mould set creates a stunning faceted container that combines function and artistic design. The finished piece features a modern geometric pattern with multiple facets that catch the light beautifully. The container has smooth walls inside, providing practical storage space, while the exterior showcases the eye-catching geometric design. Number 5, the whale figurine mould set. The whale figurine mould set features 2 distinct whale designs to create an adorable marine display. Each mould captures the charming details of these majestic ocean mammals, with one resembling an orca and the other a beluga whale. The finished pieces have a smooth, rounded appearance. They look chonky, very rounded, with delicate fins and tails, perfect for ocean lovers and collectors of cute marine creatures. Then we have the 3D Mermaid Tail Mould. The 3D Mermaid Tail Mould creates a stunning sculptural piece that stands upright on its own. This detailed mould captures every scale and curve of a mermaid's tail. And then lastly, we've got this super cute little detailed crab mould. It creates an impressively lifelike crustacean with remarkable anatomical details, from its distinctive claws to the textured shell and delicate legs. The finished piece makes for a striking display item that brings a touch of coastal charm to any space, perfect for ocean-themed crafts and coastal decor. In this box, you also very generously receive 2 containers of mica powders. I received a fluorescent green and a fluorescent pink, so I'm excited to use those. And then also there was the cutest little pieces included that I just think were little gifts. They're little pussycats, and look how adorable they are. So thank you so much, Resin Moulds Express. I cannot wait to get started. So I'm just going to go straight into making. I cannot resist that first mould. So this is what we're going to be doing, the Perpetual Calendar mould set. So it is 3 moulds in one, and I'm showing you here some different coloured pigments from A1 Pigments Australia that I've decided to use for the rings. I'm going to have 4 slightly different but complementary colours, and they are going to be very shimmery and a little bit colour shifty, and yeah, hopefully really lovely. This is just a little sort of a keyring style swatch set that I made up for these when I first received them, and I will link those below. Now I'm going to keep a track of how much I use for each of the pieces, and I will include that for you in case it helps you when you're making this mould yourself. And I'm going to be using River Art Resin Deep Pour, which is a 2-to-1 epoxy resin, and I've decided to use that because I really want the pieces to be totally bubble free and really smooth. So I'm excited to start mixing that up. The first colour that I'm using is Rock Crystal Violet from their Crystal and Interference series. It's a very, very fine dust of a pigment, and I'm just making up a little small amount. As I mentioned, I have weighed it, and I will weigh it again if I've got leftovers, so I know exactly what I'm using. And this one's going to go into the middle section, and this is the one that shows the different phases of the moon, and I'm just going to give it a little squirt with alcohol first because I want to try and remove the chance of bubbles as much as possible. And this is just looking so shimmery and pretty. I'm going to try and be very precise pouring these pieces because I don't want them to be domed or too thick, because I know they're going to have to fit in to be able to turn. So that's my plan anyway. Okay, the next one is our days of the week, and this is the indigo, violet, red, orange, yellow from their Chameleon Series 1. And this is flashing so many different colours. Again, super pretty. And the next ring, I am using the gold, green and blue Chameleon Series 1 colour shifting, and this is going to be for the months of the year ring, and each ring I'm adding more resin in, and because they're getting larger and larger, so really careful pouring in the resin, making sure that it has time to ease down into all the little grooves of the lettering. And then our last ring is going to be the violet, blue, green, and this is from the Chameleon Series 2. And I'm just going to mix this last batch and pour the outer ring, which is the one with the most detail with all the numbers. And I'm going to then let this just start curing to the side so I can begin working with the other two parts of the mould. Both of these parts I'm going to pour with River Art Resin Deep Pour Epoxy, and I'm using the A1 Pigments Special Purple from the Colour and Pigmentation series and Starlight Violet from the Diamond series. And I'm going to blend those together, and I'm hoping I get a really pretty, almost sort of a mystical purple mixture. Before I pour my resin though, I've got a little job to do. I am going to snip off the little silicone posts in the front part mould. And so this is the one on the right, and I'm doing this because I just don't want them showing through. And so this is an interesting pair of moulds here. The one on the right is poured from the back through to the front, and the other one the front through to the back. So the one that I'm working on now, removing the little silicone pieces, that whatever touches the silicone first is going to be hidden inside, and the last things that I lay down are going to be what we see. And so I didn't want these little holes to poke all the way through. Now I'm going to do this in two parts, and so my goal is for this first part to cover all of those rings or ridges for the rings to fit into, but not fill the mould altogether. I want to leave enough room for a generous top coat. So I'm leaving about probably close to 2 mils from the top there, and I give that a squirt with some isopropyl alcohol. The one on the left I'm going to fill with my leftover blended resin, and then I'm just going to mix up some slight variations of those two colours just to get a little bit of a different sort of vibe going, and hopefully get a really pretty contrasting pattern. I'm also adding into the mix a mica powder from Solid Solutions, which is called Sinstar Purple, and I think that that will complement those other two colours beautifully. So let's have a look and see how they come out. As resin cures, it shrinks away from the edge, and it moves and it blends and it does all these wonderfully amazing things that you have very little control over, and it's just amazing to watch the process. And you'll notice on this piece, which is going to be the back of the Perpetual Calendar, it does have those little silicone posts, and that is what we're going to be putting the screws into so that it attaches to the front piece on the right. Now I did have a teeny tiny little bit left over, so I'm just dusting the little crab mould, and unfortunately I didn't capture the pouring of the crab, but that was just with mainly that Sinstar Purple, and I had a little bit left over to make some cute little turtles. So I'm going to set these aside now to cure for 24 hours, and then we will start working on the next layer for the front part of the calendar. So this is cured beautifully now, and it's time to add in some gorgeous stickers. These came in the pack, and there were 4 different styles, and I chose these because of the colours. They had beautiful lilacs and purples and the really, really pale pinks, and I thought they would go really well with this colour scheme. So these are transparent edges, and I am very conscious that you can see just a little tiny piece of that plastic around the edge. So we are going to be doing something to mitigate that during the next steps. So I'm popping these through, and then I thought, look, I want to sort of bump this up to the next level. So I remembered I had some gorgeous transparent stickers, and they are beautiful holographic silver. The only thing was they were too large, but I thought I can cut them down. So I've gone ahead and trimmed some down and placed them all over it just so I can get a really good idea of how it will look, and then I can make sure that there's something in all of the areas I would like a little bit of extra something in, and then just peeling off the backs and adhering those down. And I think this will add a really lovely extra dimension to the Perpetual Calendar. I really want to give this calendar the most gorgeous shimmering finish, and I'm going to do that in 2 ways. So firstly, I'm going to take some Elmer's glue, and just using a cotton tip, I'm going to pop a little bit just into a few little spaces, and I'm then going to take some gorgeous holographic glitter. I'm using the Resin's silver holographic glitter, and just gently sprinkling on the tiniest little amount, just like little stardust, little bursts of stardust, and these are going to just provide that teeny little bit of extra interest. And whatever doesn't adhere to the glue can be blown off or dusted off, and then we will be able to go in with a clear resin coating, and in that I'm going to add the tiniest little bit of sparkle as well, and that is what's going to help cover those little clear edges around the decals. Often when I'm working with clear resin, I find it very difficult to judge how high it is sitting in a mould. So I do get down at eye level a couple of times with this one, just to make sure that the resin has come up to the top. And I do gently give it a little blow with the hairdryer on low, and then I go over these pieces and make sure they're clean and crisp and free of any resin, because these are going to be the little frames that you see the calendar details through. And the next day, it is time now to start demoulding pieces. And the first piece I'm going to demould is the silicone mould with all of the rings in it. And if you notice this one missing, you did much better than I did. It'll pop up, don't worry. And then I'm going to demould the back piece, and very happy with how this came out. The holes, which are there for the screws to go through from the back, are looking good. And at this point, I realise I was indeed missing a piece. And now I'm very excited to see what the front of the Perpetual Calendar is going to look like. And this was lovely to demould, very easy to do so. And I'm just so happy with how sparkly and gorgeous it is. And so there we go. And you'll see these really beautifully moulded rings on the inside where these pieces will sit. It really is a thoughtfully created mould, and they all just work beautifully straight away. And I'm just demonstrating there how the back will go on. So looking good so far. The next step is to use a marker, and I was thinking about using a chrome marker, but I ended up choosing this 0.4 needle tipped black marker, and it is just a process of going around all of these indentations for the letters and numbers and symbols, and I'm definitely not going to show you all of that. So we'll fast forward and then we can start assembling all of the pieces. So we've got the rings and we've got the front piece and the back piece, and the Resin Moulds Express box very thoughtfully comes with the little screwdriver and screws that are needed to put it all together. Now remember, I went through and snipped off the little silicone pieces in this mould just to make sure that they didn't come all the way through to the front, and I would strongly recommend doing that. You still need to leave a little bit so that you've got the piece to screw into, but it definitely doesn't interfere then with the front design. So I'm just carefully laying these all into their respective tracks, and then we're going to clip down the back piece, and then we're just going to screw in the screws which will keep it all together permanently. Because of my hands not being as strong as they used to be, I was able to use the little screwdriver just to set everything in place, but then I did have to get a bit of help to finish them in tightly, but that was very easy to do. And this is what we're left with, and it is so pretty, so sparkly. And I can't forget the beautiful little crab. So let's demold and have a look. And it's adorable. Now, I don't think I've done this justice at all because I just filled it with some leftover resin. So I think this is one I'm going to have to make again and give it a little bit more time and effort. And then just lastly, these are the little turtles that we made with the last few drops of that gorgeous purple resin. This September box has been just so full of treats, so there will be a part 2 video, and I hope you enjoyed watching me make the Perpetual Calendar. That was so much fun. I did notice as I was just getting ready to finalise this video that Resin Moulds Express has now rebranded with a new name, and they are now known as Resin Moulds Box, and I'm absolutely delighted to be affiliated with them, and they have given you a 10% discount code to use if you enter BlossyB at checkout. Now, I did some more research for you. I have not been able to find this mould listed separately on their site as yet. And given that, I would strongly encourage you to check out purchasing this box as just a one-time purchase. But look what I noticed down the bottom. October. Moonlit haunts. I'm not saying that's definitely what it is, but I was excited to see the name of that box. So as always, these are incredible value, and you get so much inspiration and so much joy from these boxes, and you can get them either as one-off purchases or an ongoing subscription. So thank you again for spending this time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.